Welcome to the Euronaval studio, where we have the chance today to meet Mr. Joe Di Pietro from Lockheed Martin. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
What are you doing at Lockheed Martin?
Oh, so I'm the Vice President and General Manager of our Naval Combat Missile Defense Systems segment, which is part of our Integrated Warfare Systems Sensors business.
Okay, and can you explain basically what is Lockheed Martin?
Yeah, so we're an aerospace defense contractor in the U.S., very high level systems engineering, systems integration, and then we develop complex integrated systems. We're in all domains, so everywhere from our aeronautics with fixed and rotary wing, think F-16, F-35, MH-60 Romeos, to integrated combat systems like Aegis, Combat 21, CMS-330 in Canada, as well as many other systems like directed energy and vertical launch ASROC. So really a wide range of military applications and aerospace defense capability.
And today you're specifically focusing on the Aegis system?
Yes.
Can you explain what it is?
Sure, so I'm pretty lucky to be sitting here across from you. You know, I actually served on an Aegis ship when I was in the US Navy. I was an engineer for the Aegis system, and now I get to lead the market segment that does Aegis. And Aegis is an integrated air and missile defense system that really is a multi-mission capability. Not only does it do air and missile defense, but it integrates all the capabilities of anti-submarine warfare, surface warfare, and AAW, or anti-air warfare, into a single combat system, and is able to do that across multiple platforms. It started on cruisers and destroyers in the United States, and now has evolved around the world for international navies.
And which kind of fleet? Because you say multiple platform, it means all kind of frigates, the cruiser, the anti-air frigate also?
So yeah, so frigates, I think our efforts with Spain, for example, F-100 and F-110 for those ships. The new U.S. frigate, FFG-62, the Constellation class that Fincantieri is building, also has an Aegis weapon system as part of that. And then destroyers, I think our DDG-51 Arleigh Burke, or KDX in Korea, or Atagos in Japan, those platforms, and then even what we're working on with Canada and the Canadian Surface Combatant.
Okay, lots of them.
Yep.
And how did Aegis evolve? How did you digitally transform in the past few years?
So we've really gone a long way, particularly on the software side of the Aegis weapon system, to be able to more quickly integrate capabilities. So we moved to something that we call DevSecOps, which is really an agile process that allows us to quickly integrate and deliver capabilities to the ships. And moving to this type of pipeline where we do continuous integration and continuous delivery, which is called CI/CD, we've been able to take things that used to take months into weeks, and things that took weeks into days, and days into hours, to be able to deliver software quickly into our common source library, we call it, which is where we have access to all the integration for all the different systems that we've input into Aegis, whether international or US, and then we can quickly deliver capabilities to the fleet user more quickly and outpace that threat. Most importantly, to stay ahead of the threat.
And how do you work with your partners? I mean, do you work together? Do you develop systems together? Do you integrate your equipment on their systems?
Yes, so we started out when we were first doing our international Aegis, and they were taking the same version that we were delivering to the United States Navy, and it was moving on to their platforms, whether it be a frigate or a destroyer-sized platform, scaled for that capability. But we've evolved from that. So now I'll use the F-110 as an example in Spain. Scomba, which is Navantia's core combat system, will be on that ship, and it will do the missions of SUW and anti-submarine warfare, but we will put an element of Aegis integrated to control the solid-state radar known as SPY-7, as well as to do the AAW mission, anti-air warfare, totally integrated with their combat system that they developed.
And which kind of tools or capabilities do you develop on your own to be able to provide such an amazing system, because it's world famous?
Yes. So, obviously it's evolved over time as we moved from our military hardware to commercial operating systems now, like Linux, etc. But we really focused on model-based systems engineering, so that way we're able to pull the right requirements and software capabilities together quickly for that. We've also moved to a lot of automated testing, and this allows us to find our defects in our code early and often, so we can deliver high quality code to those baselines. And we've been able to decouple the hardware and software. It used to be in the back in the day, you bought this computer to run this software. Think about, eventually your Windows computer couldn't run that version of Windows anymore. Now we've been able to decouple because we've modularized and componentized the software in a way that we can continuously upgrade the processing power without having to change the core, but bring new capabilities in based on the processing power. So really digitizing and modularizing and containerizing the software so we can create the right capability, scalable from self-defense all the way to high-end integrated air and missile defense.
And if you look at the future, what are the main challenges if you look basically at the current situation?
Well, I think, we're always looking to stay ahead of ready, right? And to stay ahead of the threat. So we're constantly doing the analysis, looking what is out there and making sure that the systems that we're delivering and its integration with other systems is there. The biggest part that we've learned is that we can create capability through integrating capability. So, while we're always going to do innovation to find the new technology, we can do a lot by making things work together. And it doesn't always have to be a Lockheed Martin asset. I talked about making Scomba from Navantia and Aegis work together, but we also do things like the way we integrated F-35s or F-18s or, MH-60 Romeos to create more combat capability. Even though you're operating on the ship, you're creating layers of capability by having that connectivity. So we're constantly looking at, as those new items come out, how can we quickly integrate their capabilities into our combat system, but whether it be at sea or on land, to enable those capabilities.
And why is it important for you to be here in France at Euronaval?
Well, the show for me at Euronaval has always been such a great way to bring not only our international partners, that we work with all around the world, but also to see the delegations from the navies and the different teams that we work with. It's such a great area of where everyone gets together and we're able to communicate what's going on across each other's programs and continue to find opportunities to meet those mission requirements that are going on around the world. So I find it as one of those excellent opportunities for all of us to be together and really share and collaborate and to see our customers firsthand and make sure that we're tracking their missions.
Joe DiPietro, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for following us.